Okay viewers, as much as I love these valves to shine very cleanly, I'm not going to just scrub the hell out of them to clean them, because that markings will come off, so I'm not going to do that. I have actually taken this tuning dial glass out and tested in an inconspicuous area with cleaner, and the printing did not even smudge, not even barely, so I cleaned that right up. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to just go through the valves. This one here is a 6BD7. As you can see there, the bottom writing's already started to come off and I didn't even touch it. So it's a mini watt made by Philips. It's made in Australia. This greasy stuff, I'm going to have to very carefully, with my finger, just work around it, but just avoid the printing. But yeah, it doesn't actually smudge off. You have to physically, yeah, it's very hard to get that stuff off. I'm not going to scrub that because that's going to get the markings off. I don't want to do that. So I'll get this plugged back in. Has a different base. I've never seen this kind of base setup before. Looks like they've actually just glued it, reciprocally the way they did it. This is thin glass, so this is the last production of valves. So this is from the end of the valve viewer, so these are pretty cheaply made. It wasn't worth making the valves very good quality, so those valves are pretty thin. As you can see, the clean one is very shiny. Looks pretty good, so just mainly the top you gotta worry about cleaning to help radiate heat. Tops of those IF cans are all waxed up. I can clean it off with a bit of spirits on there, on my finger, on a rag, and smudge around and they'll clean up good. So let's clean the rest of the valves. Looking better already, that 6BD7 compared to the other one, so I'm just going to give them a light touch up. Very carefully remove these. This one's a 6BH5. It's closest to the tuning gang, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, it could be the oscillator. That was a converter. And that one there is a AF, that's the AF amp. That's the audio output, and that's the rectifier. But yeah, as you can see, is a pretty filthy, so I'll give these a good touch up and see how clean it looks. Okay viewers, I've polished most of the muck off this valve. The rest is just almost like it's steam. And like, I think this is actually from a kitchen, so there's like steam and dust and it's turned into gunk. Then as it's gone old and dried out, it's turned into like concrete or bitumen. So it's going to take a lot of scrubbing. So that's how clean it's supposed to be. That's where that little paper label was I showed you in the earlier video. It's a bit of tape stuck to the side of this valve, so you can see how clean it is. That stuff will not come off. That marking will come off long before this gunk ever comes off, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Just clean the tops of them up so they look shiny and not radiate heat. So yeah, that's the 6BH5 by mini watt. Get a bit hard to see. Yeah, the camera won't pick it up. It's there's light in the way, and yeah, the camera's just crap basically. Pick it up on the top. Yeah, the pins are very low quality too. The glass is even thinner, and there's envelopes. It's a sign that it's definitely for the last of the valve viewer. As you can see from the earlier sets, the valves are a lot thicker. As the radio gets newer and newer, the valve just got less and less stronger. This one is going to be fun to get out. I'm going to try and get that little valve there out. Alright, I might have a technique to help that. Get a screwdriver and just lift it under. Alright, I need 2 ounces. This is a very delicate work and I want to crack or fracture the valve. Okay viewers, this isn't made earlier than 1959 because it's got the rounded base to it. It's got thicker grade glass and the pins are heavy duty. So this is probably a new old stock at the time of the old heavy duty production of the last of the valve type. I think that labels from when these valves are new out of the box, so it's good to see that still on there. This is also a mini watt valve. All valves are original, by the way. I do not have a valve tester to test how strong these are, but the volume is actually can actually be impacted by the antenna you use. If I had a good antenna, I ran it outside across over a tree or something, had good reception, this would be bloody loud. So the antenna does have a lot to do with the volume output as well. This is a 60 AF amp I was talking about, also made by mini watt. I think that's half it's supposed to say there. Obviously made in Australia, which is a damn good thing. So I'll polish this one here up and see how good it looks. Okay viewers, this is after I've polished it. I think it's the actual grease that these valves are coated in. It's gone hard and it's just varnish and protecting the smudge, protecting the markings from smudging off, so it's probably a good thing. Just a top on right about here. That muck will trap heat and the valve will run hotter. It's not a good thing in most cases, so I'll polish the top to let as much heat out of the valve as I can. That will prolong it'll also help to prolong the valve's lifespan. Might give it a shot of contact cleaner. It's a pretty dirty looking socket. There you go. It's in a bit of a bad spot here, so I'm going to be very careful how I put this back in. So I'll do this off camera. Okay viewers, you can see by the bottom there's valves. It's like it's been sealed, like a capacitor can or something. It's got hollowed looking pins. There's a writing from the bottom, M+91, whatever that's supposed to mean. Sure, someone will tell me, but it's got those little mouldy bits looking in it. Looks like mould's growing inside the valve, but that can't be possible, otherwise the valve wouldn't work. There's not cloudy or white anything in there, so air can't have gotten in. If I gently tap it, there's no loose crap in there, so that's good. Don't know. Looks awkward, that mouldy stuff inside the valve. It's along the edge of the plate, but the plate itself looks to be in top nick, so yeah, don't know why it's like that. It could be just the glass. When they made the glass it's got crap in it, but I don't know. I'll give it a polish up and we'll see how it comes out. Okay viewers, if I hadn't already said it before, I'll say it again. This is the audio output valve, 6M5 9J mini watt, made in Australia. It's a bigger little lot. This and the rectifier valve are most likely to get the hottest out of the lot because these work the hardest. But yeah, you can see that mouldy stuff in there a lot clearer now. Looks to be, I think it's a look along the side of the glass. It's actually inside the glass itself, so this is, yeah, they probably didn't give it crap at the time. New valves are gone. Transistors are the new thing. They didn't care how well the valves are made, so yeah, even the valve sockets are lower quality than normal. So definitely didn't care how good the quality was when they made this at the time. To get this exactly in the right spot. Oh viewers, I did this off camera. Gotta be very careful and precise how I put this in. Okay viewers, this is a rectifier valve. It's got the nice rounded base, like an earlier valve did. Also a mini watt made in Australia. It's got half underneath that, and it's got KC9K written on it. There's no loose gunk in there, which is a good thing, which means a getter at the top is working good. 6V4, it's the rectifier valve. And also when I was listening to this, I was listening carefully for hum. Not only from the filter cats, but this as well. So if this is weak, you'll get hum. So this is not producing any hum at all. So that's the 6V4 rectifier valve before cleaning. It's pretty nasty, so I'll give it a good polish up and we'll see what she looks like after I've cleaned her. Okay viewers, despite the dirtiness, it's the best I can do. As you can see here, the writing has just started smearing off, so I stopped immediately. I don't want to love the markings off these valves. But there you go. You can feel the shine now, I betcha. It's a dirty little socket there. That's the dirtiest little lot, so I'll rub my finger on that. Yeah, I got dirt inside those holes now, so I got a little brush and I'll just it's good to use this stuff. That, and if you're really worried about sensitive electronics, use mass airflow sensor cleaner from automotive stuff. That's made for extra sensitive circuitry, so gotta find which way this valve goes back in. So this is the hottest working valve. It's got the most baked in stuff on it, so line it up, just press down like that on the tip. Make sure it's sitting in straight. Be careful with this little antenna wire too when you're working in your chassis cleaning it. It's a very delicate wire, and if that wire gets broken, there will be tears. It's very hard to get that soldered. That's critical for the reception of the radio. This has got CW03-55. This is a little trimmer capacitor. But yeah, I'm going to soak these controls with some contact cleaner. So let's see how they go. But yeah, I'll give you a good look over the chassis again. You can see how much shinier the tops of those valves are. It's a lot better. Now I'm going to go over the tops of those IF cans with a rag on the end of my finger with some spirits to polish off that muck. Then after that, clean the controls, and I'll simply this little felt surround around here. It's supposed to aid so the sound is contained within this speaker grill. Makes it sound a whole lot better. So yeah, that's all falling apart. This is the only one that's attached, so get that all sorted out after I've cleaned everything. Then I'll do the case next. Okay viewers, it's kind of difficult, but I've actually got some contact cleaner into these pots of potentiometers and this switch. Very hard to do, but I managed to achieve it. Gave them a good soaking so they're not so noisy. Give this little nut a quick touch up. I did actually have to undo it to solder my wires on. That's pretty good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 paper wax caps. And that wax strip was from this capacitor, I think. Yeah, actually that was this one, because it's the newest looking one. You can see that's been dripping for a while. It's been dripping wax during storage, and it's just made a mess there in the case. So that wasn't an electrolytic capacitor, it was a wax one. So yeah, it's got all sorts of muck in this set. So now, it's probably the cleanest I'm going to get it. There's no loose dust, so it's the best I'm going to get it without mucking it too much, or wrecking it too much. So yeah, that's the best soldering I could do on that switch. It's electronically and mechanically it's a good connection, but I couldn't twist the wires neat in my hand, so I had to snip away all the loose strands that were overhanging. It's a very tight spot to get that out. To get this control out, I would have had to remove the whole complete speaker assembly, and I wasn't going to do that. So that worked out alright. That's pretty good. So now that's the best I could do with these IFs. That stuff is baked on. I'm pretty sure it's kitchen grease. It's just gone. Stagnant, and it's just like concrete. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. This I could probably wash in the sink. So I washed the casing in the sink, and see how that looks like after I've washed it in the sink in some soapy water. That ought to look brand new. After than that, I'll do a polish up of the fascia with some cut and polish. So let's get this casing nice and washed up. Okay viewers, it's a bit dark, but I gave this all a good wash in some soapy water in the sink, and it's looking beautiful. Almost brand new. So I'll set that aside. And this is the other half. This is, I did test this with a wet finger in a hidden spot, and this didn't smudge this paint, so that's good. So I went ahead and dumped this whole thing in the sink too. Got a lot of gunk off it, so it's looking good. can see through that now. I'm gonna cut and polish this burn mark out. This is valve damage here. This is what plastic's main drawback was of valves. It got damaged and dirt sinks into it and makes a nice nasty mark. Now I'm gonna get some turtle wax onto that and buff it as hard as I can. See how good I can get it to shine up. So we'll do that and hopefully we can feel the shine. Alright viewers, it's the best I could do. Very shiny. Look at that. Now tell me, do you feel the shine? It's got some pitting though, because I think that label or whatever glue the hell they used to hold the paper on, it reacted with the plastic. So that's, yeah, whatever glue they used was pretty harsh stuff. What I've had to do though, I've had to get some fine grade sandpaper. So yeah, to get all the heavy stuff off, heavy abrase it, then put a elbow grease, some cut and polish, just come up good. But if I can get some methylated spirits into that now, and a brush, and I'll pick up that light coloured stuff out of the crap of the plastic and shine it up even more. So yeah, that's a lot better than what it was. So that one's good, that's cleaned. The wax mucks come out of that too. I've got some warm water that got the wax out, so that's looking good. And before I get to this repair of this cloth, I'm going to cut and polish this fascia here so I can looks better. Okay viewers, the felt surround's been re-glued. That's been held in place with these little clips. That one there is pretty, I've already glued that one. That's where it's supposed to go. And now I'm going to take these to the sink and go over these with some brass, so polish them up. So I'll bring that here actually, but it's best to do it here. I'll see anyway, I go to the sink and do it, it's easier. So yeah, let's get these shined up. Okay viewers, a good knob shining with some metal polish, and these came up great. Now the tuning knob's a bit questionable I think. Oops. Don't lose those rings either. When you're working on radio knobs, don't lose those little swing rings. Those clips will come off. They're designed to hold the knob tightly under the split pot shafts. So the tuning knob here's got a chip in it, and half the bloody seat's cracked away. So I might have to try and get another one if I can. But this clip I'm gonna have to push that further under the shaft, like I did with this one. So that looks like it's about to pop off. Just never to push right down because it was nearly virtually going to slip off, so I'll do the same with these ones for safety. Hopefully these are dried out. That's pretty good, reasonably quick. I'll reassemble the radio back in the case now. Then yeah, we'll put it back in its case and give it a demonstration. That's where the felt's supposed to go. Should put some there too anyway. I did this bit here when I did the running Electrolytics alive. Right, so I'll fix these up, put the radio back in its case, and we'll demonstrate it. Okay, viewers, it's all back together. Didn't bother pushing these knobs right on because they're absolutely a nightmare to get off in the matter of that weak clear plastic, so now just putting them all the way back on when I'm going to get this thing apart again anyway to replace those caps. So the tuning cord has to be repaired too, so I've got to get the pulley on here. This knob is broken, so I've got to get the final replacement for that. The actual tuning shaft has to be fixed because it's slipping like crazy. I'm going to have to cut some grooves in it so it grabs. And that's actually been riding against the fascia and it's cut a hole and scratched into it, so I'll plug it in and give a demonstration. I've got to re-extend the aerial cord so it sticks out the back. So that's another thing I'm going to fix. We'll plug it in and we'll give you a demonstration. This one's off, so I'll do it fully together here. Plug this in. These old plug tops don't like these modern shredded cord extension sockets, so we'll set that in there. turn on. The lights aren't that bright, so I think I'm going to physically pull those dial outs out and polish them up so they're brighter. That's how loud it goes. So it's doing an alright job receiving with no aerial. Tights a little bit there. Yeah, this dial cord's a real pain in the ass. Have to work on repairing that. RM's over here. If I can get the dial cord to go over there, that'd be a bonus. No, doesn't look like it's going to do it. No. Nah, dial cord slips too much. Can't go past there, so I'm going to have to repair that. That's in the next video. So.
Well Street. Now, there's
yeah, it's gone back in the line.
It was on today. Now it's just practice today. Tomorrow is qualifying. And
oh, that came up pretty good.
The final. And if you don't know
just
anything about RC vehicles,
it's all lit up.
Control vehicles,
and when I lean over the radio like that, it goes crazy because I'm covering the aerial. So I'll try and turn this around if I can.
All over the tri-state.
Okay, the inside's all lit up there.
The points earned in this race will assist Australia's best drivers to qualify for the Australian.
Gonna have to extend that aerial cord, I think. That'll be the next video when the caps arrive. I'll replace those caps, repair the slipping dial cord problem, and extend that aerial cord and see if I can track down a replacement tuning knob.
And 12th Street, if you're interested in remote control vehicles at all, finding out what it's all about and see the experts in action. Hi, I'm Anthony.
Yeah, that's sticking bad.
Local news.
Gardner's Primary is back in action.
The latest news from around the Sunraysia region.
That's all nice and cleaned up and looking good, so yeah.
With updates weekdays on the half hour from 6 AM and during the afternoon.
So far so good, so thanks for watching.
Your news.